of person, I feel like I could do anything. Like, it ain't nothing that I can't do. So, now I know that sound old. Like, girl, we only 30. We ain't no grandmas yet. But I was like, oh my God, y'all started a book club. Can I join? I was bored. I was bored all the time. Hi babes, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika if you are new here, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome girl. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join the family. We would love to have you over here. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about hobbies to replace your phone. Now for me, after my last relationship ended, it was super important for me to try to find new hobbies and find new ways of getting to know myself and having fun by myself. That relationship was like my first really serious relationship. We lived together, so we did everything together, and it was devastating when it had to end and I had to move out and find my own space and ultimately find my own way as a woman. And so when that situation ended and I ultimately did get my own place and my own space, I was bored. I was bored all the time. I was on social media all the time, or I was running the streets all the time and just doing anything with anybody to help fill the void, you know, and to help me not feel so lonely. And so after a while, I just got sick of that, and I decided to start to find hobbies that made me happy and that fulfilled me and helped me get to discover myself and know myself as an individual and as a woman. And I think that is so important, because sitting on your phone all day and absorbing all the energy and the toxicity, the negativity, and also the feeling of being less than because everybody else seems to have these glamorous lives can be draining. It could be depressing, and it could really take a toll on your mental health. And I find that it could also cause you to have like a warped view of reality. And so it's important to take a step back from the phones and really focus on real life, focus on finding things that make you happy and that bring you joy. And so that's what this video is all about today. I'm going to be sharing with you all 10 things that you can do, or 10 hobbies that you can try that do not require your phone. So let's get right into it. So the first hobby that I want to share with you all is coloring. Now I know coloring has kind of blown up over social media lately. A lot of girls are ordering like the 100 pack of markers on Amazon, and they're getting their coloring books and they are coloring, and I love that for them because I've been coloring as well. I started coloring back in September when we lost my brother, and honestly it was just a way for me to take my mind off of my reality. Like I would literally sit on my iPad and color for hours at a time because it was just an escape. It was just a way for me to take my mind away from whatever I was feeling at the time and put myself into a space of creativity and creating something beautiful, especially because I am a creative person by nature. So coloring was just a natural thing for me. But as I said, I did it on my iPad. So I didn't order coloring books and I didn't go get these markers. I literally do digital coloring on my iPad. And I know we're talking about stepping away from your phone, but I feel like coloring on my iPad isn't really the same as like being on my phone, because I don't use my iPad to go on social media. My iPad is more like a business thing for me. So I only use this to play Sims or color or, you know, do thumbnails and stuff for YouTube or anything for content, but I don't use my iPad to just aimlessly search social media. So I color digitally on my iPad, and I have some beautiful pictures, girl, that I've made over the past, what, 5-6 months. So absolutely love it. I use an app called Zen Color, and I'll show you guys. I'll put a video up on the screen of some of my creations. I love coloring on here. It's peaceful. It keeps me calm. It's fun. It's an easy way to just aimlessly do something and not have to think about it, but do something that's kind of productive, especially if you're creative like myself. It's cool to create something and watch it come to life. That brings me joy personally. So I would highly suggest coloring or digital coloring. And also digital coloring is is free. If you don't want to spend the money on the markers, if you don't want to have to accumulate the coloring books, get an iPad and do digital coloring. I wouldn't recommend doing it on your phone, girl, because once you see those notifications, you're going to want to, you know, acknowledge them and answer. So get an iPad or a laptop or something and color on that. The next thing that I would recommend are exercise classes. Now, if you are not new here, you all know that I am a class pass girly. That is how I do my exercise classes. I have everything on class pass, girl, from kickboxing to boxing to swimming to yoga, aerial yoga, Pilates, everything you can think of is on ClassPass. And that honestly was my introduction to my fitness journey. Because I've never played a sport for real growing up and I've never been active, I had to find exercise classes to really get me out of my comfort zone and motivate me to want to work out. And when I tell you ClassPass has been a lifesaver for me, it truly has. I still don't see myself as a fitness girly, but I do like the classes that I try on ClassPass. I found a gym that I would consider my home gym that I go to. I have a Pilates class that I like to try out on there. I have Shred 415, which is another cardio based type of workout class that I like to try. And those are just classes that I like to do and keep in rotation to keep me fit and looking good, but it's also a way to keep me social and socializing with people. And for me, I don't use my phone when I work out, so it's a great way for me to unplug and just be in the moment and be focused on what it is that I'm doing. The next thing that you can do, ladies, is join a book club. And I'm super excited to share this one because if you don't know, if you are new here, your girl started her book club at the beginning of this year. Pretty Girls Reads. Absolutely love my book club, ladies. We are currently on our third book. We are reading Viola Davis' Finding Me, and joining a book club has always been something that piqued my interest, but I didn't really know where to start. And so I had a subscriber of mine who I've kind of built a connection with, a friendship kind of with. She's kind of like my auntie, big sister, but love her, adore her. Her and her daughter started a book club last year, and it was just the three of them, and I asked to join. I was like, oh my God, y'all started a book club, can I join? And she was like, yeah, you can join. So we did it or whatever. I think we only got through 1 or 1.5 book. It wasn't really structured. It wasn't really serious. It was just something that her and her daughters were doing, and they were kind enough to let me join. And so last year I was using that book club as a way to hold myself accountable to read a substantial amount of books last year. But needless to say, when that book club kind of fell apart, I kind of fell off of my reading as well. I think last year I probably read like 6 or 7 books, but my goal is to do 12 each year. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start my own book club. You know, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I've never been in a real structured book club, and I've never seen what it looks like, but it can't be that hard, right? And so I decided to create my own, and it was honestly something that I was planning on doing at the end of last year, but then, like I kind of mentioned earlier, my brother passed away, and creating this book club was the first thing that I actually put my all into since him passing, because I was kind of in a funk, didn't want to do nothing, I just wasn't myself. And so as a way to like pick me up and get me out of that, I promised myself that I would fulfill my promise to myself and create the book club and start the book club. And like I said, we've had our third meeting. We did an introductory meeting, then our first book, and our second, whatever. We've had our meetings, girl, and it's just been such a beautiful thing. Like I said, this is my first time ever being in a book club, so I'm learning as I go. It's not perfect. We get better each month, and the ladies are so patient with me and so kind, and they contribute, and I love it. I love it so much. It is not a dictatorship. I'm so big on saying that. I don't know how other book clubs are ran, but with my book club, we have 3 books every month. Everybody is willing to put in their suggestions. I research each book, I pick the best 3, and then we vote on which book we want to read. So every month we're all deciding to read the same book. Well, we don't all decide to read the same book. Some people be in the losing poll. I was in the losing poll. We have themed months, Black February was Black History Month, and so we had to read a book by a Black author, and that was the first time that my book lost the poll. I did not want to read the book that won the poll, but I read it and I was pleasantly surprised. I actually really liked the book, and so this book club has just been a way for me to not only hold myself accountable and read 12 books a year, it's also allowed me to connect with other women throughout the world, which I absolutely love. Hear their different perspectives, because you know we all come from different backgrounds and different upbringings, so to all read the same book and have different perspectives and ideas and insight, I love that for me. I love that for them. We're all able to learn from each other and just have a kiki over some good literature. So love that, ladies. Join the book club. You could definitely join mine. I'll put the link in the description box. The next thing that you can do is find a sport where you can communicate with others. So for me, that has been tennis. Now, I don't play tennis as often as I would like, because I do struggle with finding people who want to play tennis, but I do want to look more into that over this summer. I didn't play tennis at all last summer, and it really sucks because I really enjoy playing tennis. So I'm going to probably try to look up a local park district near me and see if there are any like group sessions or something like that. I'm sure there are, because I'm in the burbs. You know, they take that stuff serious in the burbs. Like, it's very organized, and they always have events going on in the park district, especially in the summertime. So I'm going to look and see how I can get more involved in this upcoming summer and playing tennis with some ladies and building those connections, building those relationships, and really trying to bond with people over things that I truly enjoy and that they enjoy as well. The next thing that you can do to stay out of that phone, sister, is to build the 3D Legos. Now, this is something that I haven't gotten into, but that has been on my bucket list for a while now. Those 3D Legos are so cute. Like, the images that they make sometimes are just so gorgeous. I love the rose one. That's the one that I want to try out first. It's very nostalgic and just brings you back to childhood. I have 6 brothers, so I've been around my fair share of Legos in my life, and to see the 3D ones, I just think that was just such a genius creation, especially for the adults. Like, I've seen some pages on Instagram where they've created like huge statues just full of the 3D Legos, and it's so cool, and it's definitely something that I want to get involved in the coming year. So I think I am going to create my first image soon, so I'll definitely be on the lookout for that, because I will upload a reel or a short if I do create it, or when I do create it, because I am going to create one. The next thing that you can do to stay out of your phone, girl, is to paint. Now, I love painting. This is something that I picked up almost like 2.5 years ago. I created, you guys can't see it now, but that black and white paint, I put a picture on the screen, that's always in the back of my videos. I created that painting, and then because I didn't want to have a house full of like just paintings for me, because I'm a rookie, I'm an amateur, I'm not true to this, baby, I'm new to this. I don't want to have a house full of just my paintings. So what I had started doing was creating paintings as birthday gifts or housewarming gifts for those that I love. So I created the painting that you guys know of, the black and white one right here. Then I also have like a 3 set that I have in my bathroom that you may have seen before. And then I created my best friend a painting. I've created like 4 or 5 more paintings just as gifts in a nutshell. And I love doing that. When I move this summer, I'm going to create another painting to like bless my new home, my new space. And so yeah, this is just something that I've kind of picked up. I'm really good at abstract painting. I haven't tried to like branch outside of abstract painting, but we'll see what I come up with for the new place, because I do want it to be something special and something different. And I feel like every time I move, I want that to be a goal of mine, like create a piece of art specifically for that space, and then I can carry them with me to each place I go, and you know, it could just be memories and something that I can look back on. So looking forward to that, and I think that you should do that as well. Also, it's a really thoughtful and inexpensive way to give somebody a gift. You know, anybody who I've ever created a painting for, they've loved it, they've been so happy, and they keep them displayed in their home. So I really love that for me, and I love that for them. The next thing that you can get into, sisters, to stay off your phone is knitting. Now, I know that sounds old, like, girl, we only 30, we ain't no grandmas yet, but y'all, the things that I have been seeing people create on social media just by knitting is mind-blowing. Like, I saw this girl create this 6-foot cloud statue out of knitting. I was so invested in her completion of that project. I stalked her page every single day to see the finished product. It was so cool, and I don't know if it's just the creative in me or what, but I thought that was dope. I thought that was the coolest stuff ever. Like, to see that masterpiece come to life, like, it just warmed my heart. So I do want to get into knitting. I love a good sweater. I love a good cardigan. I love a good bed throw. So I want to try to create my own. Like, I'm the type of person, I feel like I could do anything. Like, it ain't nothing that I can't do. So if she could do it, I could do it. Like, I probably can't do the cloud statue, but I could create like a beanie or a scarf or something. So definitely gonna try to create me something soon in 2025 for sure. I'm gonna try to create my first little item, and I'm definitely gonna share that with you all, of course. Another thing that you can get into to get out of your phone is swimming. And I know you like swimming. It doesn't necessarily have to be swimming. It could be anything, but for me, swimming is on my bucket list because, one, I really don't know how to swim. I'm decent, but people say I can't swim, but I think I'm decent. But I want to practice swimming. Not only is it a great form of exercise, I feel like it's one of those things that can come in handy, you know, like ever in a life or death situation, it would be great to know how to swim, you know. And then I think that it's relaxing. Like, you know, when you get out the pool, you just feel like you just lost like 20 pounds. You just feel so tired and weightless, and I feel like I get some of the best sleep after being in the pool all day. So swimming is something that is definitely on my bucket list. I've been talking about taking swimming lessons for a while now, and I feel like it's time to get to that. Like, it's time to actually make that happen. So we'll see. I think I might get to it this year. Don't hold me to it. Another way to get out of your phone is board games, or just games in general with your family and your loved ones. This is something that my brother absolutely loved to do. My brother loved to play board games. He loved Monopoly. I hate Monopoly. It's way too long. But he loved Monopoly. And then growing up, I remember my mom and my aunts, they always used to play Scrabble. Of course, I'm black, baby, so we play spades. And then I love the game Mafia. So board games has always been in my family and in my friendship groups as a way for us to just connect and have a good time, have some fun, have some laughter. And nobody is on their phone unless you're looking up the rules, because, you know, sometimes you forget the rules. But nobody on their phone the whole time. Like, you just vibing with your people and having a good time. And then also, if you're like me and you really like to play games, you can download those same games a lot of times on like your iPad or something. I do not recommend your phone because we're talking about staying off of the phone, but you get the point. The next thing that you can get into is baking. Now, I know this probably sounds like another grandma habit, but it's something that I really want to pick up, especially as I'm getting older. I know how to cook. Like, I can cook, but I'm not the best baker, and so I want to try to learn how to bake. I think it's something so special and so heartwarming and sweet about being able to create and bake a sweet treat for your loved ones, just like the painting. Like, it's just something about creating something with intentionality and with love, and then giving it to someone that you love, that makes it so much more special and so much more meaningful. So I definitely want to get into baking, especially because, girl, listen, nothing but cakes be getting all my coin, baby, because the cakes is so good. And it's like, I know I can make a cake at home if I just really apply myself. So I definitely want to look into baking at some point. Maybe we'll start small though, with like a pound cake or cupcakes or something, nothing too crazy. And the last thing that I plan on getting into this year as well is flower arranging. Now, when I get flowers, I typically just, you know, cut them, put the water in there, put the food in there, mix it up, and put my flowers in the vase and display them. But I actually want to start taking the time to create an arrangement for my home. So buying the baby breath and buying the different leaves and stuff to actually make the flowers look beautiful. And I just think it's something so special about doing that. You know, I don't have to be gifted elaborate flowers to have elaborate flowers in my home. I can create them, and it's inexpensive. So that's another hobby that I definitely want to explore, because again, this can be something that can be gifted to your loved ones. It's one thing to go to the store and find a beautiful bouquet of flowers for someone and hand it to them, but it's a whole nother thing to create something from scratch that you put together with your mind, your time, and your intentions was to give it to that person. It just means so much more. It's much more thoughtful, much more meaningful. And so I'm definitely looking forward to creating my first flower arrangement this year. It's something that I'm kind of nervous about, because although I'm super creative and like good with stuff like that, I feel like I'm not gonna be that good at flower arranging. So I'm probably gonna have to do some research and figure out like how to actually do this thing, but it'll be okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So those are all the hobbies that I have for you all that you can try. Please leave me some comments and let me know if you're currently doing any of these things already. Let me know if you have any tips, whether that's tips on the knitting, tips on the flower arranging, and you know, girl, because I'm gonna need all the help I can get. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.